This is a member of Congress who worked in Ukraine, who lived in Ukraine, and who is very concerned about what we are seeing here right now. As you just heard from the president, he is taking action. The question, what will Russia's response be?
There's an element of shock. I mean, everybody knew that this was sort of on the table, but there was still this last bastion of hope that he actually do the unthinkable here.
Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick today reacting to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a country where he lived and worked as an FBI agent and where he still knows people today.
How are they doing? Are they safe? Former colleagues and contacts of yours in Ukraine?
I don't believe they are safe. They're staying. I'm glad that President Zelensky is staying. I hope he continues to stay because he's the leader of that country. If the leader flees, the country is done.
President Biden today saying he spoke with the Ukrainian president last night, but has no plans to speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin, as Biden announced new sanctions against Russian banks and oligarchs.
America stands up to bullies. We stand up for freedom. This is who we are.
The sanctions announced today do not include removing Russia from what's known as SWIFT, an international banking system, or sanctions against Putin himself, both things that Congressman Fitzpatrick says should happen, along with sanctions against Russia's energy sector. We spoke before President Biden's speech.
Russia's economy, over half, comes from oil and natural gas. You cut that off, you cut off his lifeblood, his financing, which could really halt any further invasion of Ukraine. If you kick him off the SWIFT banking system, he can't engage in any transactions that require translation of the U.S. dollar, which they all do.
President Biden today also announcing additional U.S. troops heading to Germany.
Our forces are not going to Europe to fight in Ukraine, but to defend our NATO allies and reassure those allies in the East.
But the possibility of increased involvement does loom if Russian forces threaten NATO allies like Poland, which shares a border with Ukraine.
Our legal obligations under Article 5 of NATO is that if they take one step across that border, that then triggers a legal obligation and response from the United States to put our sons and daughters in harm's way to defend our NATO allies.
A NATO summit is now planned for tomorrow on Ukraine, and members of Congress will get a classified briefing in person next week, which is also the week of the State of the Union from President Biden. Now, however this plays out, guys, there will likely be impacts here at home, financial ones. I spoke with another member of Congress today who told me about the possible impact on mushroom farmers in our area. And of course, we already know about the oil and gas prices that have already been going up.
Mushroom farmers think Kennett Square big time, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that tonight at 5:30.
Absolutely.
Lauren,
Thanks, Lauren.